Hey everybody, this is American Idol Unaired. I'm your host, Bennett Shear, and please welcome today's guest, Rye.
Hey guys.
Hello! We're so excited to have you, Rye. Now, if you could tell everybody listening who you are and where you were on this season of American Idol, let's get your background.
All right. My name's Ryan Goss, but I went by Rye on American Idol. I'm 22 years old and I am from Tennessee.
Nice. Now, how long have you been doing music before the show came about?
I've been singing since I was like a little kid. So like I've been singing forever.
Got it.
um I haven't actually went into full on singing until about when I was in high school. I started singing in high school more, started putting myself out there, was in theater. I did a bunch of talent shows, won a couple of them. So I just kept pushing my voice and here I am.
Here we are. So it sounds like all those opportunities in high school really probably led you to Idol, and I imagine that like winning an actual talent show probably gave you the courage to go out for one of the biggest talent shows.
Yeah. Well, I didn't win all of them, but I'm very persistent and I always try to win because I'm very competitive. Like I'm super competitive and I like winning. But if I don't win, I'm not like a sore loser. You know what I mean? That's a good part about me.
That's a good way to be. It's like if you win, take the W. If you lose, take the L. But you move forward. All right. So let's get to Idol then. So you now are you approached by the show? Do you choose to audition yourself? How does that early process work?
Okay. So this is my third year auditioning for the show, but this year I was scouted. So I was approached. I DM'd the producer, and the producer DM'd me back, and it was like, "Can I talk to you and all this stuff?" And he set me up for all these meetings and everything. And I had like three little auditions. Like I auditioned in front of him so he can see what I could do, and then the other producers, and then they said it was good, and then I went to the executive producers, and I made it on the show. Last year, I did Idol across America through Zoom or whatever, and I almost made it on. I went to the last prelim round where you get to talk to executive producers and all that stuff, but they didn't. They gave me a strong maybe. They were not decided yet, and I didn't make it on ultimately, but I almost did. And the year before that, I went to Nashville, Tennessee. I'm from Tennessee. I'm only like 45 minutes away. Um, and we went to the open calls and I got past the first little prelim round. That's when I know I had something. And I got that first yes when a bunch of people don't get yeses from that first initial yes. So that's why I was like, I can't just let this go. I got to keep going.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like, I mean, heck, even getting in front of the judges, even if it wasn't aired, third time's definitely the charm. And I think it was all about that. I'm sure that motivation to keep going. What do you think maybe changed from the first to second to third times? What were you maybe doing? Was it song choices? Was it how you delivered the melodies? I mean, what were you doing?
Being more prepared.
Mm,
My first time walking in there, I had no song choices prepared. The one song choice I had, they said, "Do not sing that. You do not sing that well.
mm.
Sing something else." Because they said you got a voice and you got the personality, but I need you to find a song that actually fits. And then I did, and they said, "Okay, we're putting you on to the next." But I didn't make it through the next one after that because I was scared. I was only like 18 at the time when I did that first audition. And I was not prepared or anything. They said, "Come back next year more prepared, and hopefully you'll make it on." And I said, "Okay." And then I come back next year, but this is when COVID happened after that. So when COVID happened, the next year it was through Zoom and everything. And they liked all the songs I gave, but I felt like there was like a little disconnect with all my songs. Like I didn't show the authentic side of myself. Same thing for my last year, but I came in with 100% more confident, and I had a better package because they don't look just at the voice; they look at
Right.
everything. So I had a better package, and I was more brandable, I guess. So my third year, they let me on, and I still feel like I wasn't authentic to myself as much as I could be, but I got a step closer to my dreams, you know?
Yeah. Well, so the thing is, so I know that your whole story, if you will, wasn't aired, but we did see a little clip of you in one of their montages. So, and I remember you from one of the episodes, and you didn't get the full introduction, but maybe so that we can kind of get that full story that we didn't get as viewers. Can you tell us, first of all, what city did you audition in? Because I don't really think they mentioned that.
Okay, I auditioned in Austin, Texas. That's the first audition city that they, and I was on the first audition day. So a little scary.
I got to tell you though, going first is lucky because as I've heard from a lot of these interviews, some of you guys had to wait a long time, I'm talking days, because they got to put you there for filming, and you know you got to wear the same thing every day, but you got it, you got out the first day.
But listen, they push all the filming in 2 days. They scatter the other ones. We
Mm.
all do the same amount of filming, except some parts they do different segments with other people. But that's just because they choose people to do the actual segments. But we do all the same interviews, all the same things, except unless something doesn't fit with your story, then you don't do it. But they push all my interviews, they push all everything into one day. Like I had like an hour and a half interview, and then I had another interview, and then another interview, and then I had digital stuff that I had to do, and that's my first day. And we had our call time was like 6 o'clock in the morning. I don't do mornings.
Yeah, me neither.
So, and it's hot outside. I don't do heat either. So
Oh man, I'm with you there. I don't do mornings. I don't do heat. In fact, I feel lucky enough that I kind of overslept this morning, so I feel lucky to be here on time because it's very easy. You know, you forget to set that alarm. Next thing you know, but American Idol, you got to be on time. And it sounds like even though you were there for maybe a short amount of time than others, because they're doing everything in 1 to 2 days, it's like go, 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 go. And the crazy thing is, most of that stuff isn't even where you get to sing in front of the judges. It's B-roll, it's interviews, it's, you know, figuring out how they're gonna put you into the show when it comes to, like, I know that a lot of times they pair people and they do little fun segments, right, where they put you with other contestants and they act like you're all hanging out and being friendly and stuff. So
yeah.
go, go, go. Any memories, anything in particular, whether it was something fun or something that was maybe tiring, like from that filming period?
Okay. Well, we call it day zero. That's where you do like the beginning initial filming, and then the audition day one. So you get there the day before. You get there like on I don't remember. It was like Saturday. No, it was on a Sunday. You get there on a Sunday. You get a rest for that day. The next day it's go go go. So it's either a Saturday or Sunday. I don't remember. And the next day it's go go go. All those interviews, and then the day after that is the actual first audition day where the celebrities will be there.
Right.
But my favorite memory from day zero would have to be I have there's called confessionals. So you can go into the room that says a moment like this, like that whole big backdrop or whatever. I don't know if that. But have you dance?
Mm.
And they asked me if I could do a drop. And then instead of doing a drop, I just fell to the ground because I said, I don't know what to do. So that's one of my favorite memories. And I had them laughing. So I was like, I don't know what I was supposed to do. I just fell to the ground, like fell over. Thank God that didn't make it into the final cut because they could have made me look like a mess.
Oh man,
I had fun.
They were nice to you. Well, speaking of a moment like this, you know, it is the 20th anniversary season. So I'm curious, are you a fan of American Idol? Have you watched before you were on the show?
Yes, I am a fan of American Idol. I've been watching it. I've been watching. I've been watching it for like. I remember when Jordan Sparks was on there, Adam Lambert, all these people. So, but I was a very young kid back then. But I got really into it. The season. I don't know if you watched the season, but LaPortia Renee,
Yes,
she came in second place. It's the farewell season when they brought it back. And then they brought it back. She was my favorite. So, and I was a little upset when she didn't win. And yeah, I've been watching American Idol. I've watched all the newer seasons. I've been into it. So yeah.
Me too. I mean, I think I've seen almost every episode since, you know, 20 years ago, and I have to say that you mentioned two people that I wish won, LaPortia and Adam Lambert. I thought that they both should have won their season, but you know, it didn't turn out that way.
They always put the people that I like the most come in second, but the ads effect, you know.
Yeah.
The fan favorite come in the second, and they're like, "Oh, what happened? Why did that happen?"
Right.
But they got a rise out of people, you know.
Yeah. No, for sure.
It's a TV show before it's a singing competition.
I know. Yeah. It's hard because I mean, heck, like I mean, it's sometimes hard to even choose between the finalists because when you have everybody that's so good, like narrowing it down to a winner, it can be difficult. But I mean, look, I think it must have just been really cool to be a part of it. I mean, even only being in front of the judges, I mean, you're a part of this iconic show, and when you finally did get in front of Katie, Luke, and Lionel, I want to know what you were feeling like as you walked into that room and it was your moment to shine.
So, well, when I walked in that room, I had a ceramic pig cookie jar. I carried that everywhere for 3 days. My arm is killing me. And they automatically questioned that. But I had questions for them first. I said, I have a question because my nail popped off because wore fake nails. And my nail popped off, and I asked Katy Perry for nail glue, and she was just like, I was not expecting that. I do not have nail glue on me, but you should always carry nail glue. And I'm like, yeah, I was like, let me ask them questions first. And I remember bantering back and forth with them. I had a lot of jokes. I wasn't being serious enough. That's my issue. That I felt like I was having too much fun, and I just needed to be focused on what I was doing and focusing on my voice and be more serious because I felt like I was just being playful and just joking about everything. And I felt like they didn't take me serious. So that's my issue. But I was like, you're gorgeous to Katy Perry. She didn't say anything, but then Luke Bryan said, thank you. And then I said, I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to Lionel.
Oh my God.
Because they're actually like dolls. They're like gorgeous. I'm just like, it's like you're walking into heaven into that room because everything is so lit up and you're just like, I can't even see.
So walking into that and especially watching them on TV, I imagine that's got to be unreal. And not to mention probably adds a little bit of pressure when you're already nervous about singing in front of these three famous people.
The thing is, the nerves kind of go away a little bit after you've been there a couple days.
Oh, I see.
So
Just want
it's
to get it
not
over
as
with.
nerve-wracking as you think it could be. I was still nervous though, and I have really bad anxiety, and I shake a lot, so my voice is a little shaky too. And I was just it's like you're doing the Olympics. Maybe not like that because I've never done the Olympics and I'll probably never do the Olympics, but it's like they make you like run 5 miles basically and then like go at it. Yeah. You're tired after when you get to your audition because of all the hurry up, waiting, running across the resort, all that stuff. So you just need to be more prepared for all that. I wasn't prepared for that. I didn't know how this all filming went because it was my first time filming ever. And now that I have knowledge about that, if I go again, I know what to prepare myself for.
It's funny because I feel like what I've learned from talking to you and many other, I mean, everybody talked about how grueling the audition filming process was. I think that a lot of people jump to think that Hollywood Week is the time when, it's really grueling and brutal and just exhausting. And I know you didn't make it to Hollywood, but it sounds like the auditions could be maybe you're not as sleep deprived, but you're certainly working probably just as hard between the filming and then preserving your voice and then having to go and sing and figuring out how to make all that work without tying yourself out too much. I mean, that's got to be like up there with some of the hardest parts of being on the show.
Yeah, it's really like I was just talking from my interview and my voice was gone. My voice isn't my voice can get raspy, but when it's worn down, it's raspy. So that's what I sang like. It was all like bunch of rasp, and that's not how I like singing. I'm a loud singer. I'm a belter, but when your voice is not working all the way, it's gonna come sound a little bit different. And I just should have prepared myself more and kept drinking water and all this stuff, but what happened. I can't change it. So I can only just move on and grow from it. And that's what I plan on doing.
So I did mean to ask, what song did you sing in your audition?
I sang Oops, I Did It Again by Britney Spears.
It's funny. I thought that's what it was because I like I said, you were in a little clip and I remembered something and I was like, did he do that song? And you did.
I sing it better when I wasn't like, my voice wasn't worn out. And I was just drained from on my energy because I was in the middle of the day. So the hottest point of the day, right before lunch. So they were hungry. So yeah. So they were probably hangry. And I go in and I'm dying. It's hot. Austin, Texas, heat is nothing to play about. And I'm just drained. And I gave it my all. I gave all my energy left. And I was scared that I was going to be made into a joke, but I was not made into a joke. Um, I just sang my heart out, and what I gave wasn't great. And I thought I did fine, but when you hear it back, you're like, yeah, I see why they didn't give me. I got 2 no's. I got 1 yes by Lionel Richie. That didn't get shown.
Can you want to maybe like dig a little bit into some of the critiques that you got from the judges?
They definitely said that I need to be more serious. That's my main thing that I have been taking with me. It's okay to joke around and stuff, but don't joke so much that makes you look like a joke.
Mm.
You got to be a little more serious. And if you really want something, you got to show them that you really want it. And instead of just cracking a joke constantly about pigs, Britney Spears, all that stuff, because I had it going. Like I kept going and going and going because I can talk a lot, clearly. And I should have just took the moment in and was like, this is what I want to do. And I want to show everyone that this is my passion. And I'm not making a joke about it. I'm serious about it.
But, it's interesting too, because there's something to be said about having a personality and not being so serious that people don't get to see who you are as a person. If anything, American Idol, it's about having that star quality. And so my guess for you is that if you go back, that you're thinking about, so how do I maybe tone it down, but not completely get rid of the things that make me special and unique, because that's kind of what helps make you as an artist, right? I mean, the fact that you love ceramic pigs, which I've got to ask you about because it sounds very interesting, and then just your personality and your sense of humor,
Yeah. I have a thing for pigs. I just brought the one. They asked me to bring something, and I said, this is the best I can bring. I have a picture of a pig in rain boots in my living room with a flower crown, and they wanted me to bring that, but that could not fit into my bag. So I said, nah. So I brought my ceramic pig. Her name's Bertha. They showed it on the show a little bit. They showed me kissing her. I said, oh, I look weird kissing that dang freaking pig. And they had me showing my nails and stuff, all pink and stuff. I have pink shoes and everything. I feel like I don't need to have all the bling and all the flashy and all that stuff. It's nice to have it, but I don't need that to show myself. And I tried to probably overcompensate showing that to be like, oh, like me. When in reality, I shouldn't worry if they like me. I should worry about if I like myself. And if I like myself, they'll like me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can't push someone to like me,
Right. Or maybe if you go back and you make it through the audition, then each round you go through, you show them more and more. Like maybe next round you're like, hey, let me show you the nails or let me show you the bling. Like maybe add different elements to each performance if you were to make it further to give people wanting more.
I had a bunch of different glasses that I had planned to wear. I had like these black flame ones. I had these raindrop ones. I had just plain pink big ones. I had all these plans, but I was learned, do not plan ahead because you don't know. Because if you plan ahead and it doesn't work, you're already setting yourself up. Then like you're gonna make this, and then when you don't make it, you're gonna be like, oh, oops, my confidence is shaken. Yeah.
But I think it's normal though. If you're on freaking American Idol, you're gonna want to imagine, what if I get to Hollywood? What if I get to top 24? I mean, it's to actually be there and to live the experience of even just being on that set for the first time. I mean, and also like, I mean, I say this again, like, not to make this like a therapy session, but like you made it past 100,000 people and you're down to the 170 or however many got to sing in front of the judges. Like, I think that, it's still really special no matter how far you make it, because if you're a part of the filming process, you've done something right,
I'm proud of myself. Took 3 years, but I did it. And I'm still going to plan on auditioning. They don't let people on back-to-back seasons that much. It's rare, but they do sometimes. Like Margie Mays, she made it on back-to-back seasons.
Right.
But she also had another person with her to add to her story.
Right.
You have to have something different. They have to look at you and be like, oh, there's something different about you. Let's put you on. Which I'm going to try to audition for next season, but I'm not getting my hopes up because I know how the game's played. And if I don't make it on next season, there's another season after that I can try. I already have my songs picked out and everything too, and I'm already prepped and everything. I'm just waiting until they say the open call. Oh, I'm signing up because I don't quit. I can keep if I want something really bad, I keep going for it because that's how it happened last time. I actually made it on, and hey, I could have potentially got yeses if I just because I only got one yes, two no's. If I had one more yes, I would have made it to Hollywood. So I almost got there.
Well, maybe in kind of thinking about what, there were some things I'm sure that went well during that audition, even if you didn't get the yes. And I'm thinking about the fact that Lionel said yes to you. What do you think Lionel saw that maybe you would take with you next time where, he saw something in you and there was something that you were doing right?
The most thing that he was talking about is my positivity. I've always
Mm.
been positive about everything. And he said that he loved that about me and that I deserve a shot. And he's gonna say yes because I'm positive and he believes in me. So I'm just gonna keep my positivity and keep going and trying and trying and trying. Because my biggest thing, I didn't care about being seen as a singer or a vocalist. I wanted to show everyone my story. I wanted people to show little kids that went through the same things that I did. That look at you, you can make it like I did because I made it on American Idol and I went from nothing. And I just wanted to be an inspiration. That is my biggest thing. I just wanted to inspire people.
That's awesome. That's such a huge pillar of what American Idol is all about is showing those people watching at home, those kids, and no matter who you are, you can make it. I mean, and that's what's I think so beautiful about music is that no matter where you come from, no matter who you are, no matter what you look like, you can show people that at the end of the day, if you have a voice that can relate to people and connect with people, you can be that American Idol. And I think that that's what this show represents. And I asked a lot of people, because again, you're not the first person who said they want to go back. Why American Idol? Why this show? Now, we're not associated with the brand. We're not only trying to like pump American Idol here, but it seems that there is a certain, passion for this show where people think it might have that edge over The Voice or X Factor or America's Got Talent. And I'm kind of curious for you why Idol's the show that you like the most.
I felt welcomed. I felt like I belonged. That's my biggest thing. The people, everyone that I have met that works with Idol have treated me with the utmost respect and the utmost like love. I remember when I got the nose, I had some of the production crew coming and hug me and be like, "Don't let this decide your future." And that they believe in me, that they love me, they love working with me. Um, I had the story producers that reached out to me after and said, "I'm sorry this happened to you, but you were one of our favorite people and we love working with you and don't give up on your dreams." And like they really were like a family to me. That's what draws me in because I follow so many people and they follow me back from Idol. Um, and I just will always treasure them because they treated me like I was their family. They treated me like I belonged. And that's all that I ever been searching for my whole life. Um, I just have to realize I do belong where I'm at. I belong everywhere. It's I can't just keep chasing after something that I think that I belong. I just have to realize I do belong.
Wow. I'm so glad that even though you didn't make it past the auditions, you took away so much from the overall experience because what it's done for you personally potentially can outweigh whatever it would have done had you made it through this round and that round and that round. And hey, if you go back and you make it, that's awesome. I'm voting for you. We're gonna go for that W. But I just love listening to what you have to say about what it's done for you on a personal level because you've gone back time and time again. You've kept fighting. You don't quit. And then even just to make it a little bit farther this time, it sounds like you've gained so much from this third try that you can walk away with, right? And be like, look at me, I can do anything.
I've always told myself if I wanted it so bad, I'll get it. That's just to keep pushing. So and like they let me talk about things that I wanted to talk about. It's like almost therapeutic. Like you go into the interview process and you're telling them, you're like spilling your whole heart out and
Oh
everything
yeah.
that you want to say and
Yeah.
everything. It's like I get to talk to people about this. I don't talk about my trauma and everything like that, but
Right.
with them I got to, and I just kept going and going. It's like one moment I'll be crying my eyes out, one moment I'll be happy.
Well, I am curious because, I think that obviously it's interesting, you're there and it's emotional, it's therapeutic, but it's also a show and, they do things with like the packages and stuff. So was it a little nerve-wracking having the cameras around you to open up because you know that some stuff might be in the show, or were you more of an open book?
Um, I feel like the cameras brought it out of me.
Mm,
I like I play, okay, people play for up for the cameras. I play it for the cameras, trust me.
yeah.
Like I'm quiet when there's no cameras around, but when there's cameras around, yeah, I'm loud. Yeah, it's but also I was very nervous. Cameras actually made me more comfortable. The only time I was nervous with the camera around besides my audition is when I met Ryan Seacrest and I was shaking. I was like, I didn't know what to do because this is that's like the first. This is real now. I'm with Ryan
Yeah.
Seacrest. This is real, and I was like, oh Lord, and like I'll remember because he was going on his lunch break, and they ran me across from the whole resort because we did B-roll at the pool, and I went to that pool like 50 times, and it was the worst. That's the worst part.
Okay.
That's the only negative thing I have is being at that pool in the heat. And they ran me from the pool all the way across to the resort, and they had me film with him for like it was like 5-10 minutes. And I remember when he says, "And now we wait." I said, "Wait for what?" And he's like, "Just wait." And he ran into his car and left.
Oh my God.
He said, "Gotta bounce, gotta go do things."
Oh wow.
Um, and he had his dog there too, and his dog is lovely. Just letting you know, I love dogs. So
Yeah. Well, I was going to ask you to talk about meeting Ryan Seacrest, but it sounds like that was an interesting part of the experience. I mean, he's an iconic figure when it comes to that show. He's been there since the beginning.
yeah, I was just like, whoa, this is real. I was not. Uh, it, it's like you're not actually believing it's happening until it's happening,
Yeah.
and you're like, this is not a dream anymore. It's coming true.
Right. Yeah. In the words of Kelly Clarkson, "Oh, I can't believe it's happening to me." Like a moment like this.
Yeah. But everyone was so lovely. All the judges were lovely. He was lovely. Everyone that I met was lovely. Um, and I was just blessed to be there. Not everyone has the same experience as I have, but thank God I have the experience that I have because it's like plays a big part of how I'm moving forward.
Right. Right. Now I'm curious, I know you've watched a lot of seasons before this. Have you been watching season 20 since you went back home?
Yes, I have been watching it. I watched all the auditions, but after the auditions, I kind of fell a little down. But I've watched little videos on YouTube and stuff about everyone singing. So
Well, by the time this episode comes out, we're already going to know who the winner of season 20 is, but I think that it's created this has been like one of the most buzzworthy seasons. I mean, I've just heard everybody has an opinion, I feel like, about who they want to win, and I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little salty about some of the results, but that's okay because, like you said, there's a lot of talented people here. But I don't know, like it's really, it's like I'm thinking the country vote's so powerful. We have two country artists, but then Leah's really popular, so I don't know.
what I'm thinking is going to happen, Leah's going to snatch the win because two country artists. Okay, let's roll back to the first season when there were new season where there's Gabby
Yes,
Barrett,
and Matt.
there's
Sorry, you
Maddie
go ahead.
Poppy,
Yep.
and guess who won? Maddie Poppy.
Yep. Yep.
So,
I know.
but that's just me thinking. So
We have the
it's
same
I think
theory.
it makes her odds even better because she's different.
Yeah.
But the country artists are really well. So
Yeah. And Noah has that whole like I don't know, ever since like Carrie Underwood, has there been that story of like somebody who just like walks in literally like, I don't know who I am, I don't know what I'm doing here, and then like walks out a star. I mean, that as much I feel like there's so many country winners, but he might actually be one of my favorite country artists on the show because of that story and because he's so likable. He's got a little boy at home, you know what I mean?
yeah, he's so likable. You just want to hug him.
Yeah.
That's the thing. And Hunter Girl, her tone is amazing. She is amazing, and she's from Tennessee too. So I'm also rooting for her because I want someone from Tennessee to win. So I'm rooting for all three of them for all different reasons.
Yeah. I literally don't want to call it because I just don't have a clue. I know who I want to win, Leah. I know who I think could win, and I think that's Noah, just because of the got country guy with guitar thing. But I don't want to call it because I just don't know. I really don't.
But last season, Country Guy with Guitar won. So I don't think that they'll
Yeah,
repeat that. But if they do, good job for Noah because
yeah,
he deserves it too. So
yeah. No, I definitely like. I'm somebody who likes to have that mix and not have the same thing over and over again, which is why I was kind of annoyed when it was like Scotty McCreery and then Philip Phillips and David Cook and Chris Down, like all the guys with the guitar. Like it just kind of got to be like enough already. But you know, it's not always about winning. Adam Lambert, LaPortia, right? Like you can still do really good things without winning the show.
Gabby Barrett.
Yeah, I
And
know.
they've been pushing her a lot.
Boy, have they.
They I think she is the new what's his name? What's his name from season 2 that came in second place? I don't want
Alejandro?
not yes, because they used to push Alejandro all the time.
Yeah,
If you watch the show, they're
yeah,
like, "Oh, you could be the next Alejandro." Now they're
right,
looking for the next Gabby Barrett.
right.
So
Yeah. I feel like I don't know about you, but I'm such a fan of the show that I kind of like I'm always rooting for the show. So like whoever wins and if the winner does well, I'll be like happy for them and happy for the show. Cause I love to see American Idol winning, especially like they've been killing it ever since they've been back on ABC, I think. I mean, I don't know about you. I think it's gotten better every year, even from like some of the years on Fox. Like ABC's killing it.
yeah, I feel like it has gotten better because they know what they're doing now. Like, well, the production crew, most of the people um have been there forever. So, but they revamped it, and now the judges now know how to judge 100% because who are they? Well, they were celebrities, of course, they were singers and everything, but they weren't ever like on TV shows really. Lionel was with Idol for a little bit, like helping as being a mentor. Because I remember seeing him all the time for some reason. I don't know. But Katy Perry and Luke, they've never done anything like this. Well, Katy Perry one time
Guest
was on
judge.
American
Yeah, yeah,
Idol, if
yeah.
you remember that.
I do.
I remember that. And she she I just love her. She's so funny.
She was a good booking because like she actually tells it like it is for a singer in a world of pop stars who are afraid to tell it like it is. She has. I mean, they're not like Simon Cowell level, but they're all not afraid to be honest, which I think you guys benefit from because you're the artist you want to improve.
Sometimes people hear what they don't want to hear,
Yeah.
and sometimes it doesn't go like
No, yeah.
like how it's supposed to go. And
Right.
maybe they're the way that they look at them isn't how they look at them anymore, you
Hmm.
know? So
Yeah.
they see have a whole different perspective on them. But I still love all of them. And Lionel is still always and will always be my fave because he's like a freaking grandpa. I don't know. I just love him. I just want him. I just love him so,
Yeah,
so
no,
much. I don't know. He's
he's
just
Papa
so
Lionel.
sweet and he has the best advice and he's just you can tell that he really, really, really cares about what's happening.
Well, that's what's amazing to me is, I mean, I think for a while, Idol and all these shows were becoming too much about who's on the judging panel. But the fact that they've had the same panel of judges for 5 years, all people that wouldn't have needed to give up their time if they didn't want to, they want to be there. It seems like, and the fact that they've come back year after year and really invested in you guys, I think that that's pretty cool in this day and age when you have a lot of other shows that just have singers that are looking for attention, on the judging panel.
I think what they need to do next season. I love our judges, but they need to bring Nicki Minaj and Mariah Carey back so they can argue.
Nikki, okay, hear me out. I was literally going to talk to you about this because I was thinking about this. People do not give Nicki Minaj enough credit. Okay, if you're a super fan, if you've watched every season or at least you watched season 12, and I've got some tea for you, Rye. So I'm actually interested in the like TV business, like producing behind the scenes. And there is a guy who used to work on American Idol back when it was like huge on Fox. His name is Mike Darnell, and he did this event with Andy Cohen, who has his show Watch What Happens Live, and he produces Real Housewives. It was like a Q&A at
Mhm.
this like they call it I think Television Critics Association, so really like deep into the behind the scenes. And he says everybody thinks that they know who was the problem that season, and the judge that they think was the problem, she wasn't the problem. And so he didn't say anything else, but
It's
it's
obvious.
obvious. People need to stop. Ugh. They need to actually look. They need to. They need to.
Well, it's because some people are entitled, but they edit things to look a certain way, and what happens happens. Reality TV is about reality, but it's not 100%. They can twist and turn anything that they want because they have amazing editors.
Yeah. And the editors, it's like the editors are there to do a job, but maybe they have their own personal bias and they're sitting there in an editing room, nobody's watching. They're like, I'm gonna make her look bad, not her. And then it makes
Yeah,
America think the opposite.
but no one will ever know
Yeah.
because everyone's in. I mean, it's funny how people don't understand how everything, like TV is. There's a lot of stuff that goes in TV. They film like hours within hours within hours of stuff, and they only cut it down for like an hour. So you only see what happens for an hour. There's so much stuff, other stuff that goes on that don't make the cut, but not everything can make the cut. So people just don't understand. This is not. There's other things that happen besides what you watch.
Oh yeah, actually, in that same interview I was just telling you about, there was I don't know if the name Nigel Lithgow rings a bell. He was one of the like OG producers, and he was on that same panel, and the one that
Mm-hmm.
Mike Darnell was on, like the whole interview thing, and he's like, there is a tape buried in Chainsaw that nobody will ever see after a girl sang Somewhere Over the Rainbow, and I think what he was implying is that Mariah Carey like threw a fit or did or said something or did something, and he's like, it is buried and locked in Chainsaw. Nobody will ever see it. It was that bad. And I'm just thinking, okay, one of my dying wishes is to get my hands on that tape because I just have to
Uh,
see what happened. I'm just so
uh,
curious because like Mariah Carey acts like she's this goddess, and I'm like, I'm look, we're not gonna assume anything, okay? But like, I just want to know what the heck happened because I'm not convinced that how people, like Mike Darnell said, I'm not really convinced that the way people saw that situation was how it actually was. I think Nikki cared about the contestants, was there to do her job, wasn't there to draw attention to herself, and she wanted to help them. She was like the next best thing when it came to honesty since Simon Cowell. I mean, she told it like it is, but people had their own perception about that. So I don't know.
yeah, you can tell when people actually care and when people are there for a check. But I'm not gonna say anything else about
Yeah, no, I
that.
know. But the bottom line is, Ryan, it has been such a pleasure to talk to you. And I do have one more question for you. I'd like to ask because I know that we might be seeing you next season. And I also know that we might have some listeners who are thinking about trying out for themselves. And so I would love if you could give them any advice that you have about going on American Idol.
Okay, I have a couple things I could say. First of all, be you,
Mm-hmm.
because if you're yourself, they're gonna like you, and because there's only one you in the world, so
Mm-hmm.
you already have something on everyone else because you have something that they don't have. You're yourself. And the second of all, always be prepared. Be prepared. Be prepared. Be prepared for them to ask you, sing me a song a cappella. You better have that in your back pocket and just sing. You have to. There's a lot of things that could happen. Always have like 3 or 4 songs prepared, maybe even 5 or 6, because anything can happen. But if you are a singer, you should always know what songs you can sing well and what you know what to do. If you're prepared and you go in with that mindset, be like, okay, if they ask me something like this, I have this. If they need a ballad, I have this. If they need an up tempo song, I have this. If they need a country song, I have this. Even though you're not a country artist, but they might ask. Just always be prepared and always be yourself.
Well, that's great advice. And, right, it was such a pleasure talking to you. And before we go, also, I would love if you could plug your socials, let people know where they can hear you sing or follow you online. Take it away.
You can follow me on Instagram and TikTok. It's simply Rye Music. Then that's all I'm on.
Awesome. Well, while we plug your stuff, I'm also going to plug American Idol Unaired. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, make sure you subscribe, rate, and leave a review. You can do everything but review on Spotify and wherever you're listening, whatever platforms. Thank you very much. You can also watch our interviews on YouTube. Just type in American Idol Unaired. You can follow us on Instagram or TikTok at Idol Unaired Podcast. Thank you guys so much. Have an amazing day. I'll see you next time.